I'm Donald Trump, and you're listening to my friend TJ and the liberal Coach Casey.
I love watching dudes pound other dudes, man.
Why am I gay? I don't know. There's just all this stuff in a row. Bean's more like a dirt fruit.
Weed!
I mean, he probably had some kind of other Korean name, but we only knew him as Uncle Joe.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
Our country is in serious trouble.
And your mother was begging Barack to stop.
That was a good one. Yeah, I beat you on that one, man.
Holler my name!
Up in the corner.
Skinman, villain in disguise.
One is doing big things, and the other one claims he has a big thing. It's the Middle of the Road podcast with TJ and Coach Casey.
Oh, I think you're doing big things and I'm claiming big things. Actually, I know the answer to that one.
That could be either one of us.
If you're joining us on Facebook, if you've downloaded us on Spotify, if you're just listening to us somewhere, none of what I'm going to say matters except for you may hear a new voice here in a minute. But this is a weird setup. To my right, I've got JRB5, Josh. He is my co-host of For Music Lovers Only. He is the host of the Art Assault podcast. He's a local artist, longtime friend. To my left...
Hello,
and
swindlers.
I guess if you're watching, you're right. That's Skinman. You haven't seen him for months. No, he did not quit the show. He was just he was using all his vacation up before the end of our fiscal year starts in April. So he was trying to use all his vacation up. And
April Fools, right?
joining me,
got 3 April
like in
Fools.
this corner up here. He usually is sitting right here. He's at a beach somewhere. I believe he is collecting on the child support that he's paid throughout the year by getting to spend time with his children. It is TJ. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, if you pay enough in, eventually they'll let you see them.
2 weeks a year, every year. That's the recommended limit for paying somewhere up to where it's $100,000 a year for child support. TJ's only going to be joining us for the first 15 or 20 minutes. I'm not going to let him start out with this story. He's going to have to sit through the how you doings and what you doings.
Well, yeah, he's got to get back to work.
Josh, this is your second time on the show. 22nd time we've done a show together, so this isn't completely new.
It's weird being on this side of the control panel.
Okay, it is. Yeah, we're usually facing each other, or, you've recently done a podcast over in the other side of my thing because I wouldn't let you do it over here because I'm not changing my setup for, a friend, family, nobody.
Don't touch my buttons.
Yeah, no touching my buttons. How was your Easter?
Easter was good. Went to get some money for the eggs at Quick Trip and go, hey, can I get $20? This is in Derby, right up the street from Michelle's.
Okay.
Put it in perspective. Guy's like, yeah, I know where you're going. I'm like, well, then it made me think, are they still doing dollars at the gentlemen's clubs?
Oh yeah, I think so. I don't think they've went to fives or 20s only yet. I still bring my Sonic change thing when I go in there because every once in a while I just throw like 35 cents at one of them. Like, you don't get $1.
I wonder if they got QR codes on their asses or, butt plugs with swipers.
Okay. All right.
They take Cash App.
Oh, they do take Cash App now?
Technology.
Give me your Cash App, girl.
Back when I went, we just lick a quarter and stick it on their belly.
Yeah?
Oh, it did not go over well at all.
Yeah. How was your Easter, buddy?
We went to Oklahoma.
Okay, you went and spent it down at Hey Dude Ranch.
Yeah.
Got to go see Shannon. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Any other visitors?
In a hammock Friday and Saturday night both. Don't be jealous.
Man, now you got freaking Eric sleeping in hammocks, dude. And he thinks it's the bee's knee. He got him a whole hammock that wraps around him, and he's got a freaking bug shade for it.
You got the bug net and the rain fly, and it comes with the stakes.
Man, living it up. All right. So that was yours. TJ, what was your Easter like?
Non-eventful.
Non-eventful?
Kids were here, which is the first time, yeah.
Well, that was.
Yeah.
You didn't go out and do family stuff or go out and like
No,
hide
they came
Easter
here.
eggs. Oh, they came, all your family came to your house.
Just my parents and my kids were here.
Your sister didn't
Then
go.
my uncle Joe showed up for a little bit, so I got a story about him later.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, that's why I know that's the only reason you came on. So we'll make you sit here for just a couple minutes.
45.
No, I'll probably, maybe at 15 or 20 after I'll give you the mic.
That's fine.
20 till.
Tonight's sponsors, we got two of them. Art Assault Podcast, since he's here, we decided might as well let him sponsor the show, and plus he paid money to be here, so I might as well give him the sponsorship.
$1 million.
Can anybody pronounce the name of this vodka? You look at it real quick. Hold on, I'm going to give you a chance. We're going to walk up to the camera and give the listeners and TJ a chance.
Is that P. Diddy's Ciroc vodka that gets you raped? Luke's, it's Luka Doncic.
I was
whatever
doing
the
this
dude that
too
plays for
because he
the
sponsored
Mavs.
one. That's the whole reason I was doing this, was to get to that. Was we've had many vodka sponsors, but Ciroc was one of our vodka sponsors, and we'd like to apologize for everybody that he hurt and if we hurt. But this is Luke's. I don't know. It's
Can I
some.
look at that closer?
Yeah. We'll let you test it, but it's a Polish potato vodka. It's LUKSOSUK. I don't know, something, but go find it.
LUKSUSOWA.
Yeah, I could.
Where'd you get that at?
Store.
Yeah, the liquor store. Me and my wife went over to the Derbies. They didn't have either of the two that I normally drink. And
It's a wonderful bouquet.
oh, it is beautiful. Potato vodkas, they don't make me angry. I don't have a problem the next day. They're clean going down. It's the Irish in me.
Yeah.
That loves
Let me see here. Are we still trying to figure out?
Yeah, if you can pronounce that, then I have a prize for you. We got how everybody's Easter was. Did anybody kill a rabbit for Easter? Did you guys do that in your family?
No, but I found all the eggs. They were in the chicken coop.
Okay, so that made it easy. Well, that basically just was a lead up to like some weird Easter traditions.
Yeah, there was 13 in there.
13 eggs?
Yep.
In Australia, they use a bilby instead of a rabbit because apparently rabbits tear up their plants and stuff over there, so they've eliminated them, and they don't want to, not eliminated them, but they don't want to glorify them.
Now, what is a bilby?
It basically looks a lot like a, now if you...
It says, join our newsletter.
Oh, shit, sorry, Wanderlust. Now look at it. But it basically looks a lot like an anteater with rabbit ears would be the best way, but it's furry. And in this case, it's chocolate. I don't think they're all chocolate.
Well,
It's not like those chocolate-covered cats.
I know. Well, that's what
In
I was going to
Oklahoma.
say. They're doing chocolate-covered bilbies. Last show was we did have chocolate-covered cats brought back because of Easter coming around.
the musical?
No, it was, remember the cats in the trailer park when we did the story that the snake had been eaten and then he had left behind chocolate-covered cats?
Okay.
And then they became a life passion project of mine, starting chocolate-covered cats. The world's biggest Easter omelet is attempted every year in France. Well, these are just stupid facts about Easter.
With
And they
rabbit in
gave
it?
up on it.
What's that?
Does it have rabbit or jelly beans or what?
It just says on Easter Monday, the residents of somewhere usually crack more than 4,500 eggs into a
Holy
gigantic pan and create a massive Easter omelet that serves over 1,000 people. Each family breaks the eggs in their home in the morning, and they gather in the main square where the eggs are cooked for lunch and dinner and breakfast the next morning.
What do you cook that in?
I'm guessing a big giant skillet. Looks like, this skillet on this thing, I'm not going to walk up there again and show you if you want to zoom in.
Oh, I see it.
Perfectly.
Just looks like a gigantic skillet, the size of 3 men would be the best way to say it.
It's a 30-quart 30-quart skillet.
30,000, no.
Well, what size of men? Your average men 6 foot or Andre?
I don't know.
the
Well,
Giant?
the thing is, in Finland, I don't know what the size, or wherever the hell that was, I don't know what the average man is in France, 5'3". So, yeah, so I don't think it's that big of one, but still good size. The witches of Easterwick in France, or in Finland, Apparently, all the kids and people dressed up as witches. The tradition is said to have come from the belief that witches would fly to Germany with Satan. Bonfires are meant to scare them away, so they do bonfires. In Papua New Guinea, they do tobacco trees, and I think they do that year-round. So I think this is just they happen to show up on Easter. Philippines does walks people actual people around on crucifixes and walks them through the square and stuff. That seems strange.
And they nail them to the cross. Literally.
It says I don't know. I mean, it says actual crucifixion.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it doesn't say they put it there. Red eggs in Greece. Apparently, it's supposed to symbolize the blood of Christ and something. So that's all. I don't really care that much. It was really just about the omelet one. This is any way I can get an omelet or eggs into the show, I'm going to do it.
Eggs sound a lot better than nailing a 10-inch spike through your palm.
Oh, yeah. Or a bilby or a chocolate bilby. I mean, chocolate-covered cats scare me enough. Hey, there's a couch floating in the freaking ocean behind you, TJ. Be careful.
Oh, my God. Look what else is here.
Oh, it's Charlie. The dog, our show dog. All right. You want to do your Uncle Joe story, buddy?
For a little bit.
Before I move on.
For it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I got some good ideas, but I don't know if you'll want to be a part of them, so we'll let you stay on as long as you want.
Ideas is not the way we like to do things around here.
I know. Well, let me do your sounder real quick.
Why am I gay? I don't know.
Yeah, I knew you were
Why am I
that.
gay? I don't know. It's just all this stuff in a row.
I knew that was coming. Shouldn't expect
You
less
can't say
from somebody
anything
like
around
you.
here, can you?
Okay.
Did
my
everybody
Uncle
like the
Joe's-
new intro? We haven't even got to that.
It was pretty fucking
Well,
epic.
I liked it. I couldn't hear it on my end, but I already knew it because you sent it to me.
Oh, my wife, see, we tested it out, and she could hear it coming through. So I don't know what the problem is there. Can you?
I
But
don't
you
know if
could
it's
hear
maybe a
the.
Zoom thing.
But you could hear the what I just played.
I couldn't hear the Skinman thing. I couldn't hear any of that.
But
shit.
you just heard the your sounder.
Yeah, I heard that.
No, then I don't know.
Don't know.
Maybe it's too much audio. Okay, what's your story, buddy?
So my Uncle Joe showed up at Easter this weekend. He hasn't been around for a little bit.
No,
but
I've
he
missed him.
comes in.
Ever since the drunk episode, you've pretty much killed him off.
Somebody fucking ruined it by showing up and being crazy. It was actually a year ago. I don't know if you know that or not. We haven't told an Uncle Joe story in almost a year. But through the miracle of Facebook and memories, it showed up that that incident took place 1 year ago. But anyways, nonetheless, my Uncle Joe showed up at our Easter. I haven't seen him in quite a long time. And he started telling me a story from when he was in his early 20s. I think the last thing we were talking about my Uncle Joe was he was like a teenager and he was riding around with the arm wrestling guy.
Okay, yeah, I remember that when he was traveling the country,
right,
arm wrestling people in semis. I remember that.
Yep. So my Uncle Joe, he landed.
We'll tell you in a minute.
He ended up with his traveling in the Kansas City area.
Okay.
And he got work in a bar as a bouncer. My Uncle Joe wasn't really a small guy, but he wasn't a big guy like that dude from Bloodsport, that big old Asian dude.
I know you're talking about.
Fucking jack.
Yeah, he's got
man.
the scars on
like
his
that.
got the
But he
scar
was
on his
big.
chest.
Yeah, the reason why is my Uncle Joe had already been a man since he was 13 years old, as we already know, right? Because
The cave story, yep.
Yeah, when he became a man. So he started like learning the ropes on how to be a good bouncer from this guy named Wade. Now, Wade had already been teaching people all over the place, and he had this one student who's a star pupil, and his name was Dale.
Okay. And he was a
Dale was
balancer?
what they call. He was a bouncer. Yeah, he was called what they call a cooler.
Okay. All right. A bouncer. I thought you were saying balancer,
Yeah.
but now I make
Bouncer.
Yeah, I got
like
you.
at a bar.
Security guard.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, so but Dale was a special kind. He was a cooler. Like he would come in there and he'd fix these bars up that had all these issues and stuff. So he'd been taught by this guy named Wade, who my Uncle Joe was learning from. Now Dale, whenever he would throw people out, he had like one rule: is be nice. He wouldn't throw somebody out on their ass or hurt them just to hurt them. But he was always nice about it. You know what I mean?
Yep, I got
That was
you.
his number one rule. Be nice. So my Uncle Joe started my Uncle Joe started getting a reputation of being good at this. So he got his own bar to go work at. He went to go work at the Triple Tray.
Okay.
Is a bar outside of Kansas City, right? So my Uncle Joe was kind of the opposite of Dale. He wasn't nice. He'd whoop motherfucker's ass if he had to. He didn't give a shit. Well, the problem at the Triple Tray is they had a real big issue with male prostitution going on in that place.
Okay.
Some of it was, for hire type stuff, and a lot of it is in the bathrooms in there. They had these glory holes, right?
I've heard of them
before. And these dudes would go in these glory holes, and then they'd come out pissed off because they didn't want anybody to know they were gay. So they'd be all pissed off at it when they come out,
it's like
and
one of
they'd
the first
fight.
times I met you.
And this was like the late 80s, so like being gay wasn't cool like it is now. You know what I mean? So you kind of
it wasn't the end thing like we are.
Yeah. So, it's not like how you're cool because you're gay now.
Yeah,
like it's
super cool.
Yep. So Uncle Joe would just have to toss these gay dudes out on their ass all the time for fighting and shit. But he wasn't nice about it. Like I said, he wasn't like Dale. He wasn't nice. But that was just one of the things that was going on there. His biggest rival was this big rich dude who wanted to come and bulldoze their bar. So, and I'm not sure what he was trying to build. Uncle Joe didn't really tell me. Maybe a script club, something. I don't know. But he didn't want the Triple Tray there no more. So
had he been buying up a lot of this like businesses in town and stuff?
He was trying to,
okay.
And he was like putting tax on people and shit.
All right.
Like he was wanting them to pay taxes just to operate. It's like some kind of city improvement tax.
Okay.
You know what would make this story better? If there was a monster truck in it.
I think there is. We haven't got there yet, but I don't know.
There could be.
I'm
not sure.
Thinking, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, we need a monster.
We'll tell you about Uncle Joe in a minute. Let him finish this story, and then we'll let you know about Uncle Joe.
He would send guys in there to start shit all the time. And he would send these guys in, Uncle Joe would beat their ass and toss them out until one day he brought this guy named Jake in. And Jake was a badass. Jake looked just like the lead singer of Foreigner, except for jacked.
Okay.
That's jacked.
That sounds scary.
And finally, him and Jake and Joe had a final showdown one time. And apparently Jake had spent a lot of time in prison. He told Uncle Joe, he said, I used to fuck pussies like you in jail all the time.
Sorry for his language. TJ hasn't been on for a while, and when he's on Zoom, he gets pretty aggressive.
Oh, are we a
No,
PG
we're still
show
swearing.
now?
No, it's fine. I just you get a little aggressive, so that's okay. I reel you in when we're in house. It's okay.
That's all right.
The two people watching will be fine.
Yeah, the two people that are actually watching our show will be fine. So anyways, Jake and Joe had their battle out, and I've heard other stories about people ripping throats out for their finisher move. It's not how Uncle Joe rolled. He ripped this dude's dick right off his body, and there's a lot of blood.
I thought you might go for the balls or something, but oh man,
whole thing. He got a hold. The guy was wearing.
I think a main artery goes through that too. So
yeah, but he was wearing short shorts. It was the '80s.
It's true, and then you were in a gay club, so.
Yeah, it wasn't a gay club. It's just there was.
Oh,
gay
it was
stuff
notoriously okay, like notoriously.
The Triple Tray.
It was like the ambiguously not gay club. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, it had a glory hole in it, or 2 or 5. I don't know. You don't know what goes on in places like that. So, anyways, ripped this dude's dick off, and Uncle Joe had to skip town to avoid a manslaughter charge. So,
and then that's when he moved into Conway, and when you met him, or
no, he never lived in Conway. No.
Oh, that's right. But that's when he met. Was this
he
before he met
this is before he met my aunt. Yeah.
I think all of his stories are before he met your aunt.
Yeah. She settled him down. She broke him.
What we've come to realize about Uncle Joe is he may have not had a lot of original stories, but TJ believed everything Uncle Joe said, and we've always, we always just indulge in it. Uncle Joe tells us, it's almost like the way Uncle Joe tells a story is almost like a movie could be written about it or has, and it's great. That's what we love about Uncle Joe stories. It's like, you got kids sitting around and you're just, telling about all the things you've did in life, whether you trained with a Chinese man at an apartment complex to help defend yourself because you moved new to town and you were getting picked on, or whatever it was. It's been Uncle Joe has lived a life. That, like I said, I think. See, what a lot of people think is Uncle Joe stories are come off of movies or are come out of there. What we think is that movies have been written about Uncle Joe stories.
That's kind of what I think too, because some people are like, oh, well, that sounds like Karate Kid or something like that. I'm like, no, that actually has happened to my Uncle Joe.
No, Uncle Joe, it happened before Karate Kid was written, because So what we're saying is somebody met your Uncle Joe in a bar one time, and he just got drunk and told all these stories, and this dude just wrote a book down. And so, but this new one, I think they really should make a movie about it. It sounds like it sounds like you could make two of them. Even having maybe have a UFC,
and then like 20 years later make
and have like a UFC guy play like that bad guy that got his wiener ripped off.
Yeah.
Nobody'd want to watch that movie.
No, definitely not.
I was gonna say it's a pretty. It sounds like a hit to me. We'll write it or we'll make it.
Okay.
I'll be Joe, and then you can be the guy that gets his wang ripped off. Because, well, I mean, they wouldn't even see it if you did mine. We'd have to use like a Prosecco and like Mark Wahlberg did on Boogie Nights if you were going to see mine get.
Dude, that wasn't
true.
real.
I don't think so.
I've been thinking that's real. My just think what he did to Reese Witherspoon in fucking that movie he was with her when he took her virginity and finger banged her on the roller coaster.
I don't remember that movie. Nope.
We just watched it.
Was that after the Funky Bunch? We did not watch it.
I mean, my wife just watched it.
Well, that doesn't have nothing to do with us.
Now,
On that topic, and before you go, I got a new segment we're doing called "What You Watching."
Okay.
So TJ, what you watching?
Sopranos.
Okay. The 15th time since we've done this show. Okay. All right. I just see a boob on there. Do that again. What you watching?
Young Riders.
Okay. What's that?
Old 90s. It's got Stephen Baldwin and...
Is it a series or a movie?
Series.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of Stephen Baldwin, we just watched Biodome.
Oh, it's an awesome movie, man. Classic. Classic, stupid, but classic, awesome.
Yeah.
Skinman, what you watching?
Resident Alien.
Okay. First time through or multiple times?
First time through.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's
we
been
talked about Resident Alien.
We did one time. That's been around for a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm 6th episode of first season.
How many seasons are there?
I think the new one is getting ready to come out. The second one's getting ready to come out.
Okay, so it's not that old. I just started watching. We know, actually, I don't know if we've talked about it. My life has been empty since I finished Shameless. That literally got me through 8 weeks of my life of just this stupid family time and kids and work and all I wanted to do at all four was to get to Shameless, and then it's over and it's too fresh to rewatch it again. I've seen Always Sunny at least 15 times through. I've seen Eric Andre. There's only so I started watching The Bear. It has one of my main characters, and I meant to have it pulled up for this part.
Isn't he from Shameless?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't think.
He's in the Iron Claw too, right?
Yes, and that's where I started seeing that. But Jeremy Allen White is his name. But it's basically a show about a big-time chef that's brother killed himself. He moved back to take over the family sandwich shop.
Oh, that was like on Iron Eagle.
Kind of. And speaking of, rest in peace, Louis Gossett Jr., that one hit me hard when I seen that one come through because Iron Eagle probably was my favorite military movie ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody's going to say Saving Ryan's Privates.
No, that movie is badass.
What?
Iron Eagle is badass.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's just, I don't know. There's something about that movie, man. Just do that Walkman, and that was so before freaking Top Gun was freaking throwing a Walkman on or whatever, Iceman to do his shit. It just, that movie's badass. So, but in The Bear, basically, it's just him taking over the restaurant. I'm only 5 episodes in, and I'm excited so far. Yeah. Have you watched it before?
No, I hadn't.
Any of you guys ever watched any of it?
What?
The Bear.
I love Lip, but I haven't watched
I watched Cocaine Bear.
Okay, well, have you seen Cocaine Bear? All 4 of us have seen Cocaine Bear, and that's a 3 out of 10. So, no. It's a 7 out of 10 funny, but 3 out of 10. Could you ever watch it again? Well, I could probably watch it again, but I would have
you
to.
watched Tusk?
What's that? Is that?
It is bizarre.
Is it like about elephants?
No, it's about a walrus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That tusk
Do
too.
elephants have tusks? Am I wrong in
They
saying
do.
that? Okay. I didn't know if I just sounded even stupider than normal when I said that.
Not possible.
TJ, I know it's not possible. Do you want to stay around for my new TV show idea that started out as a food truck, or are you leaving?
Let's hear it, and then I'll hop off.
All right. So I have, been on the long search. We know I want to be the whatever it is of whatever it is that Dave Portnoy is to pizza, right?
Yeah.
So we've talked about French fries. We've talked about whatever. So me and my wife have also been trying to come up with a food truck idea, and I wanted it was going to called I'm Baked, I'm Fried. And it was going to have like baked chicken, fried chicken, all that. But I was going to do a play off of it, and you'd have like a stoner dude, red eyes over there eating some chicken, or, trying to make it something funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I spanned that into my show that I'm going to call Get Baked, Eat Fried, where you go places where it's legal to partake. And if it's not, you do a Delta 8 or whatever, but you try out their best. And then you go places and try the best fried chicken. First season will be fried chicken because I'm on a fried chicken kick. And then we'll do, whatever it is. We'll do chicken fried steak or just chicken fried chicken or sandwiches or, we'll get through. I think I got at least 5 seasons of this, but I didn't know if that sounded. Would you watch that show?
I'd watch that show.
Would you watch that show?
Yeah.
On YouTube. I wouldn't watch it on like regular
No.
TV.
It wouldn't. It would be a YouTube show for sure. At least to start. It's going to be like, man versus food or whatever. So.
Is there going to be any nudity in this show?
Well, if it's on YouTube, yes.
Okay.
Just
I know
Casey.
You got to get them.
Yeah,
gotta
mostly,
get them views.
mainly me, but yes, I know.
That's fine.
I know. You'll still watch.
Yeah.
All right, you leaving?
Yeah, before I go, I'm going to be WrestleMania Saturday. I'm going to be watching it with Spade and Tyler.
Where are you going to their house?
Yeah.
How?
I have to go take my kids home.
Oh, okay.
And I have to be in Kentucky the next day.
What do you guys want to? You guys want to call
on the
them?
way.
Ask them if I can call them. We can do like maybe a little segment or something. We can record.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about it and see what he says. But
well, tell Tyler if you don't want to do it because his show's bigger or whatever. He don't have to. But see if Spade.
He's way cooler than us, man.
I don't care. He's still pussy. Hopefully he watches this. I don't care how big he is. He's a freaking an AD. He ain't gonna fight me. He was scared when a cop walked up beside his car.
Yeah.
All right, homie. We'll talk to you later.
Okay,
We're gonna start.
guys.
We're gonna start
See
the
you
show
later.
now. We're gonna hit play now.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.
Finally, a good joke. Jesus Christ! It took me all the way until then to get a good joke. So that was TJ. Everybody, sorry if the connection wasn't great. I think it sounded okay. Not great, but he does the headphones and But Uncle Joe, yes, we know his stories are not true. But we like to let TJ. I know.
Whoa.
Well, again, we are still, we had a show where we had a guest here and he blew up, you got to come up with the original idea. The whole point of it is the fact that he's playing on a joke that either from before this point, it was that TJ believed everything Uncle Joe said. And now we're playing on the fact that Uncle Joe may have lived the baddest history in the world. And like I said, got drunk at a bar somewhere and somebody took all of his stories before he got a chance to.
Yeah.
I don't know. We did What You Watching. So I did a little.
Move on from that one. Have you seen The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot?
No.
Have you seen it?
No.
What's it on?
I don't know what it's on, but it's.
Is this kind of like the Lincoln vampire type thing?
It sounds like it's going to be horrible, but it's Sam Elliott.
Oh, really?
And it sounds like they're going to just, it's going to be, a campy, and it's not. They're taking it.
Is it out yet?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's been out.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay. You said it sounds like, but
no, I mean, just from the thing, you think it's going to be funny, slapstick, and they're just going to be, spoofing it, like a Scream, scary movie. It's going to be.
And it's
scary
not.
movie.
And this guy really killed Bigfoot and Hitler in this premise.
They're Hitler lookalikes.
Okay.
Keep him alive, so he's got to go through and he's got to figure out which one it is, and so he does that. Sam Elliott, so of course
Yeah, he's gonna kill everybody.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And so
Is
then
it
he
Sam
gets,
Elliott now, or did they CG him like 30 years ago, Sam Elliott?
It's Sam Elliott now. I mean, over there, I don't think so, because I think he did that, World War II, and then came back. And
Okay.
then years later, he's just a normal guy, and then Bigfoot's out there running rampant, and
he kills him too.
he's got like some disease. And
Well, I guess we don't want to ruin it for people, but I think the title kind of does.
Yeah, I think so. It's where are you going to go from there? But I thought it was going to be a horrible
like Debbie
Sharknado,
it's like
Cocaine
Debbie
Bear
does
type of movie, but it was a good movie.
It's like Debbie Does Dallas. There's not a lot missing in the title.
No.
So, all right. Well, I'm
Definitely
intrigued.
check it out.
You gonna watch it? Sounds right up your alley.
Yeah, it sounds weird as hell.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
he likes weird shit. So,
Definitely.
well, before we go any further, and because I invite him over every time, and he has a segment I try to give him, and then sometimes we skip it, sometimes we don't. Oh, I just seen this one. I want to play it real quick, and then we'll do yours.
Boobies aren't things that give you milk. Boobies are things that kill you.
Okay. News.
Nobody believed Officer Joe that he wasn't losing all the weed from the evidence room.
This would have been better in a couple weeks, but I didn't know if we'd ever do a show again after this, so I got to get him in when I can.
They're all high. Rats eat marijuana from police evidence room.
How fucking awesome would that be? You walk in, like weed's been coming up missing, and also they're blaming, they fired 4 cops for it, and finally that fucking guy walks in, and it's fucking, there's like 14 rats. Like, they also got into the freaking,
Cheetos.
the stolen Cheetos stash and the fucking pork rinds. And
The bootleg. It was the
yeah, they were
counterfeit
knockoff Cheetos. They were Cheetos.
Yeah,
Cheetos.
yeah.
The aging offices of the police department in New Orleans are so dilapidated and vermin infested that the animals managed to get into the evidence lockup room, which was basically a closet, according to police superintendent
Richard.
The rats eating our marijuana. They're all high. She told the council
No shit.
members
I
on
don't think you have to
Wednesday.
do an experiment on that to know it.
It's great police work, really.
Maybe that's what somebody's doing is like, I got these rats, we got this weed. Do they get high on it?
The uncleanliness in the building is off the charts, she added. Maybe pick up some trash or something?
Yeah, no crap.
Like, well, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, you could plug up the holes, get an exterminator, stop being dirty fuckers, maybe not donuts every shift. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's just don't get ahead of me here.
Sorry.
Rat droppings have been found on officers' desks, adding that the building where the department has been based since 1968, that's when it was clean, has been taken over by mold and cockroaches. So they're fighting the rats for the Cheetos.
Man, do you think that there is just a slight suspicion, like they've hired a exterminator that has been busted by him, and instead of coming in, he's actually like baiting and bringing more in? Yeah. It's like, I don't know, guys. I mean, I know I'm doing my best. You guys need to be cleaner. I'm just saying, hey, sir, why do you have 4 rats in your pockets right now? I caught them. I caught them. I was bringing them out.
Well, like we were talking before the show about Snoop, I mean, we have to decarb it to get the effects. I mean, if we ate some, we wouldn't have. I mean, maybe we would get some of the effects.
Okay.
But I mean, we wouldn't be. Because it's got to be activated, the THC in it.
Yeah, but you hear about, like.
I mean, my dogs ate it before, and
he was fine?
No, she was fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I believe. I don't know if that's
so I
true.
think it's different in animals.
But I still think if you probably a person, I don't know, I've never touched this stuff, but I think a person that would eat enough would probably, especially as it, like absorb to your body, I think you would probably get a good, decent thing. I don't know. I've never wanted to, known a person that wanted to waste enough to find out.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Is that it?
Ron Harrelson.
He sounds shady.
Global technical director for Orkin Pest Control said he hasn't heard of rats eating marijuana before. As to what they go through when they do, he told the Associated Press that they might experience the same effect as humans. Depending on what form it's in.
Lazy, munchies. Well, 'cause some people get that opposite effect. They're out there working their ass off. You know, they redecorated. They've freaking painted that room. They've,
built a studio.
Built a wood shop. Worked on 4 vehicles. I mean, he's out freaking, and they might be out catering, doing Christmas lights. They might be doing all kinds of stuff, you know, with a regular job and raising kids. You don't know what a rat is capable of, you know, guys.
I
So
bet he likes a lot of Jerry Garcia
probably, I could imagine.
And chili dogs.
Oh, so many chili dogs.
Many people experience a sense of relaxation and euphoria from the drug, as well as altered senses, according to the National Institute of Drug Abuse.
I think you misspelled medicine.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Of
I
medicine
don't see
abuse?
the abuse, really. It's,
Medicine abuse. Well, there are many cases of medicine abuse as well, but well, I feel happy for those rats. I feel bad for that weed, you know?
Yeah.
Well, here, I guess on cue. Weed. I've been doing this thing lately. I've been purposely mishearing people, and I did it to TJ multiple times in there. Yeah. But, you know, somebody says something, and you just askew it just a little bit. Make it not completely out of line and, like, repeat it back to them. They're like, no. And then, you know, or you'll repeat it back to them, you know, around a corner, and they're like, yeah, that's what you said. I'm like, you really want me to touch your butt?
Yeah.
Why would you ask me that? They're like, no, have you seen that nut?
Yeah, I've been messing with Skin Wife because she will say 5:30. And I said, what? 9:30? Like, I said 5:30.
I don't know why I find it so enjoyable. I mean, it's been like the cashier that, like, even today I went in because I've been doing this thing, and he's like, it's 4:30, and I'm like, I'm not paying $430 for that. Yeah. You know, or, you know, whatever it is.
I think that's your dad coming out.
I think it is. It's getting, like, I don't want to just pick on people anymore, but it's gotten more mellow to fuck with people because I used to make fun of them about other stuff. Yeah. Now I just purposely mishear. That could be the dad in me.
I mean, like I said, I asked the other day, have you turned into your parents yet? A lot of people are like, oh, hell no, I ain't never known. Them are the probably ones that probably truly.
And they don't even know it.
They don't even know it.
They're already there.
Yeah, I'm the perfect combination of my parents. I hate my kids and yeah. So yeah, that would be my dad and my mom combined. So
right on.
No, I love my kids. So and actually I hate eating. No.
I'm vegan, goddammit.
Yeah, I don't eat meat. No. I've started eating chicken, not pussy. No. I would say I'm probably about the perfect combination of my parents because my mom's an alcoholic and my dad was mellow, and I like to consider myself, okay, I'm not mellow, so damn it. So I've got one of them.
So you're just trying your lies out verbally at this point. That's.
I know neither of you two care. Have any of you guys watched any of the basketball tournament going on? Do either of you know a basketball tournament is going on?
It's March, right? March Madness.
Okay, there we go.
That.
All right. Well,
the sports ball.
There we go. We're down to the Final Four. There's no bracket alive that has not been busted. We've got Alabama versus Connecticut, NC State versus Purdue. That's about all I'll say. It's been a crazy tournament other than 2 number ones made it there and 2 teams I don't think very few, unless you're an NC State fan or an Alabama fan, do you have them this far? I think Purdue and Connecticut or Houston or one of the others was a very common thing, but NC State is the number 11 seed. And as far as that goes, if an 11 seed were to win the title, that's a pretty big deal. I can't remember one, it's been quite a while since a seed below or above a 10 or 8 or whatever has won it. So if you're listening and you're, most likely most of our listeners don't listen live. So go ahead and message me when it was a next show. I'll correct my statement. So the only reason I bring it up is NC State. Well, here, I guess we'll go right on to this. This is a little topic that we do normally called Does Skinman Know? And it's basically just people that, 9 out of 10 people would know, but I've got 2 people in the room that I would put in that category of don't give a shit about the mainstream. And I don't do this to pick on you. I do it because I'm envious of you. But I'm going to name a couple names. One of them's a team. And I just gave you some information about one of the ones I'm going to name. So you guys should be able to get one of them.
Well, I should have been paying attention.
Okay, perfect. We're going to start with Katlin Clark.
That's a swimmer.
She just won something. I know that I've seen it on the. Was it NCU women's basketball?
There we go.
Only because I was paying attention.
She
I
is
have no idea.
the all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball. She plays for Iowa. She is a freak of nature. She is the Seth Curry combined with whatever of women's basketball. And she is getting more love, which you know what comes with when you're getting a lot of love?
Yeah.
Fucking hate like nobody's business. And most of it is, I usually stay out of the race games because there's plenty of people involved in them. I don't need to be. But all of these, African-American or black or whatever the hell announcers or women or men are coming out and saying, she's getting too much coverage. They're only talking about her because she's white. No, if anybody was breaking every single NCAA scoring record, assist record, and whatever, they would be getting talked about, especially if you play at a school like Iowa that has not been relevant in basketball for a long time. She went somewhere she loved, and she's carrying them along. So she's brought her team into the Final Four, and it's been a pretty awesome story. I don't follow it enough other than everything that I've given you, and that my wife, who does not watch a lot of college basketball, is now watching college basketball.
Yeah.
Multiple people, girl at work is watching because of this, and call it what you want. She's a freak story because it's just like when Seth Curry was playing for Davidson, I believe it was, but back in the day, a lot of people that didn't watch basketball watched because this 14 seed with this 6-foot dude was scoring 45 points a game and making nobody'd heard of him at the time. And so that's why it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But again, just along with all the love comes the hate. You're going to get, and it's from both sides. And I'm as equal as you are or whoever is of hearing about her, but she deserves to get talked about. So get over it.
I think the only thing I heard, didn't she? She's not going to sign to the NBA, WNBA until she goes through. I mean, I think she was trying to get signed early, and she's like, "No, I'm going to stay and finish."
Yeah, I think she's wanting to.
That's something.
Yeah, she stayed and played. She loves college basketball. And plus, most of these college girls like her,
they're probably paying her better.
Well, she's going to make more money in college right now. Now, granted, she'll get crazy sponsorship in the pros, but nobody cares about women's pro basketball, and only right now do people care about girls, But the Final Four or the women's college basketball tournament is bigger than anything that pro basketball for women puts on. And maybe a person like this, all these hundreds of thousands of millions of people that are watching her bring these people over into pro basketball. And maybe so if you're one of these, black women of sports or even a white woman, I don't care what you are, Asian or whatever, and you're talking shit because she's getting that coverage, all of your paychecks may go up next year because people are fucking watching now finally. Yeah. So it's like, embrace it.
It's a better role model than Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, yeah, but not – well, I don't know about Megan Thee Stallion. No. Did you watch that WAP yet?
I put it on the playlist. I put it on the playlist. I listened to as much as possible, and it was like 3 or 4 seconds.
Okay.
Until they started talking
about her
singing.
wet ass.
Meow.
I like to eat it.
Meow.
Yeah, WAP. It means wet ass. The JJ.
Oh.
I don't say that word very often, so
Why?
I don't know. I only want to talk about cats, pussycats, wet ass pussycats.
You yell it at TJ all the time.
Wait, because he's a pussy. I mean, that's different.
Context.
Well, when something's true, you can't not say it. I'm not gonna. His name's TJ too. I'm not gonna call him another name. He's a pussy. I'm not. No, just joking, TJ. If you're still listening, I know you're not, so it's okay. Next one, Tulsi Gabbard.
That's a scientist at CERN. She studies black matter.
Sounds good to me. I have no idea.
She was the former governor of Hawaii. She ran as president in 2020. She was the first woman of color to get a delegate. And the reason she is relevant right now is because RFK, Robert F. Kennedy, who's running on the independent ticket, just a story came out where he'd asked her to be the VP or her running mate, and she turned it down. Instead, he went with some hot-ass lawyer from California. And I get it, but I don't get it, you know. So
I'm surprised she left Zern. That was a pretty good gig.
she defected from the Democratic Party. She was a Democratic governor. A lot of Republicans loved her because she was like that. She was kind of like a Trump. She just said it like it was. And I actually really liked her at first, and then I just knew she couldn't win. So it's hard to follow somebody that can't win. I like winners. I'm sorry, I only vote for winners. If you got locked up or got caught in a war, I don't care about you. You know. NC State.
North Carolina State.
Yeah.
Do you know why they're relevant right now?
Why they're relevant? Has it got anything to do with the Hatfields and McCoys?
Are you guys both messing with me right now? NC State.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, they're a college basketball team. They are number 11, and they're in the Final Four in college basketball. I just talked about it a couple minutes ago. Yeah. The reason they're relevant because their women's team is also in the Final Four. It's only like the UConn men and women did it like a couple years ago. It's only a couple times that a
white privilege.
Well, I don't think they have very many whites on either one.
It's non-existent. It's just if you have enough money.
But I think it's the only, I don't know. I mean, I think there's times I've been pulled over, and because I was white, I probably didn't get harassed as much, but I also respected him and said, sir, no, sir, and didn't pull out my gun on. No, I'm just joking.
I didn't get shot, but I
totally
got
pulled his gun on him.
But I have an open carry because it's legal in my state. So when they pull up, I say, I got a gun. I just want to let them know, you know, and they're saying, it's fine, sir. It's okay. You're white, dude. It don't matter.
That is not what they say.
Okay, that's true. That's not true at all.
I've always been a dirty hippie, so they've always, we know this guy. They shake me down and find a seed, and I'm in handcuffs.
Okay, well, they don't shake me down because when they pull up to my car, I say, sorry, sir, how's it going? And then I always offer them a donut. I always keep a donut in the car. You know, I always offer them a nice little break, a place to do paperwork. Like, hey, we can pull over off to the side of the road more if you want to just sit behind me for a while and do some paperwork or something. Or, you know, you want to search me? Go ahead. You know, that's fine. If you got a quota to meet, you got to search one white guy today, I'll be the white guy. You know,
I offer him a hit, so that's probably why.
That's your own fault. I always just
like, hey man, you want to hold this for a second while I get my driver's license? Don't let it go out, man.
We're running low. Well, we're not really running low in time. We can go for 4 hours, and there's
it's a 6-foot gravity bong. I don't think it's going to go out.
Okay, all right. Well, you're right, but I always offer to be that quota. Like, have you guys beat up a white guy today? They're like, no. Have you beat up one this year? They're like, no. I'm like, you guys got a quota, don't you? You guys have had at least 100 of the others. You know, and that could be Mexican, whatever, any other race. But have you got a white guy today? And I'm always offering. They get a joke out of that. They're like, sir, you know we're not going to hit you. You're fine. You're fine. You've got our vote in the next election, sir. It's fine. God dang it, we derailed quick. And TJ's not even here. I can't even blame him. Normally something like this, even if it's not on him, is completely blamed on him. And that is the best reason to have him on the show. Because most people, even if I start the topic, they would believe the fact that he, you know, it's because he's here.
Yeah.
What do I have now? I got two dudes that
you can use me. As
I have two dudes that don't know who Tulsi Gabbard or NC State are. Rajon Rondo.
Isn't that a game where the tile game?
That's like Pong, isn't it? Pog.
It's a name. It's a guy.
No, it's Mahjong.
It's a person.
The tiles.
Yeah.
Person.
Tiles with all the funny letters.
Rajon Rondo.
No idea.
That's a.
This is awesome. This is my favorite
Indian porn star.
God, I hope people are listening or getting the same enjoyment. I'm sorry about
Bollywood actor.
I'm sorry about all the stuff in between, but if you only listen to 20 minutes of this show, listen to this 20 minutes, and I'll cut this somehow. I'll learn how to do it. I'll have you do it for me. Rajon Rondo is an NBA basketball player. Played for many teams, 2-time NBA champion. He's recently got busted for some weed, some domestic violence stuff, allegedly. He's just retired from the NBA. He hasn't been in the NBA for like 4 years. So, last one, Carson Wentz.
Not it.
I can't even think of anything. Yeah.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Daly it's his replacement.
Okay.
He changed his name.
Just guess something. Guess something, guys.
The president of Textron. I'm just thinking words and spitting them out.
He was
point.
the
manager at Wendy's.
He was either the number 1 or the number 2 in the NFL draft in God, I suck at this, but somewhere 2011,
It's your game.
12, 13. I just don't know about the year he was drafted. He played for the Philadelphia Eagles. He notoriously got injured, and Nick Foles took them to the Super Bowl, and then he's played for many times since. The reason he's in the news today is because the Chiefs just signed him for his backup quarterback.
He hadn't played for 4 years?
Nope. He actually played on he was the Rams backup last year, I believe. He's been around the league a lot. He was he might have even been the Redskins quarterback. He's been probably on 4 or 5 teams. He's a first-round pick, so he was out of South Dakota State South Dakota State. So that was why it was kind of cool to me, because when he first came out, he was out of a not a big name school. Yeah. He's 6'4", big giant arm, but he just never quite cut it. He had a couple good halves of seasons, and then
the left arm's wispy.
Yeah, and then he would get injured, and then but he was drafted in the same class as another name, Nick Goff. Okay, it's okay.
Goff.
Yeah, they were drafted 1, 2, and the reason they're both notoriously famous is because one was drafted to the Rams, the other was drafted to the Eagles, and then at one point, I don't think Goff ever went to the Eagles, but Wentz went to the Rams. Goff got traded out, and he went to the Lions, where he is now the starting quarterback, and that was a big story at the end of football last year because the Lions and the Rams played each other in the playoffs, and the Lions ended up beating the Rams, and the Rams had got rid of the quarterback. Anyways.
Glorious sporting event.
All right. Before we go to one or two more things, I did, because of this topic, most 100 searched people in the United States. So we're not going to go through all 100. But this list, and this is up to April. So this list only throws me off because Taylor Swift is number 1 at 7.5 million. Who would you guess is number 2, the second most searched person in the world?
Mariah Carey.
I'll just say he's running for the United States president, and everybody's coming after him. He didn't do nothing wrong. It's persecution. There's 747 lawsuits against me and 97 charges. I did nothing wrong.
Donald Trump?
Okay, to that, have you seen any commercials? My mom watches news, and
I bought a pair of his shoes, yes. And I bought a Bible, yes.
It's the kids. It's like the Republican Kids Starter Pack, It's like brainwash them early. It's
yeah.
I'm like, what the is going on here?
Yeah, it would be the same if they did a Democratic Starter Pack or whatever it is,
sure they've got that
I'm
too.
sure they do.
Yeah.
But yes, I have the Trump freaking sneakers. I got the Bible. I've got the shirt. Yes, I've got it all. I've got it's hidden right now, but I got the autographed. I donated to his freaking campaign. He got me that for Christmas. He donated in my name, and I appreciate it for him. Number 3 is what throws me off. Matthew Perry. And I get it. He died recently, did drugs, died in a hot tub, was bloated before that, all that. But how is he number 3 still?
What was Matthew Perry on?
Friends. And then a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Barbiturates mainly.
Yeah. Pills.
Well, that explains why he had friends.
Yeah.
No shit. Number 3, tied with him, Travis Kelce at 3.5 million. So 11 million searches of the top 4 are for a couple, the ultimate power couple. So if we ever needed, anybody wanted somebody to, here's the joke, but it's also the truth. If she's old enough, if Taylor Swift ran for president, she would win in a landslide. Yeah. And and I'm fine with that. At what we have to vote for, why the fuck not? They're all a joke anyway. So why not go for, I'm voting Taylor Swift with Travis Kelce as a VP.
Yeah.
Even though they're married, it would be the first married, and then neither one of them would have, the first lady would be the first husband would be.
Change it to king and queen. Just change the
fuck it, I'm
name of
in.
the game.
I'm in. And let them run in perpetuity until they decide they don't want to do it no more. Yeah. And then we're done with voting. We're done with CNN shuts off, Fox shuts off, MSNBC
I would
shuts
vote
off.
that just to, if that would be true, I would.
Yeah,
I would vote
or we do
Taylor Swift.
How about
Just
this?
Let her have it.
Taylor Swift and The Rock.
Can you smell The Rock is cooking?
I mean, are we done voting? Are we've got, until they die? They're like at this point they're like freaking Supreme Court members who should not be lifetime appointees. But if those two got it, lifetime appointee.
I mean,
Putin figured it out. Why can't they?
and it's not like they're just puppets.
Number 5 on the list is Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's relevant, but I don't know how he's, LeBron James, Margot Robbie. And the one thing that I wish that they would include after this was the number 1 searched word after they said their name, because I will guarantee the number 1 word searched after Margot Robbie is nude.
The Wolf. Wasn't it the Wolf?
Wolf of Wall Street. She also is Harley Quinn, which is where I fell in love with her. She is awesome in everything she's in. She can't act a lick, but she is awesome in everything she's in.
She needs a sandwich.
I know. I figured you'd say that. You probably like, goddamn, what's the girl from White Men Can't Jump?
Never saw it.
Rosie Perez.
You probably like her more now because she's Rosie Perez's.
Well, I think the Margot Robbie scene in
Wolf of Wall
I
Street.
think that's the most searched or most paused is what they're saying now.
Oh, I could finish it. I don't.
scene.
Here's the thing. I don't have to pause. I don't have to pause.
Ball.
I don't have to pause it and finish. Oh, that's a great scene too. And she's so dirty in that. And it's freaking. And it's Billy Bob's nasty white ass on her, and it's still beautiful.
Well, that wasn't Billy Bob. That was
Monsters Ball.
Oh, Monsters Ball. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. He went to Monsters Ball. I was you say Halle Berry, you boomerang me and I get distracted, dude. I mean, that just keeps coming back and hits me.
Who said Halle Berry?
What's that?
Who said Halle Berry?
He said Monsters Ball.
Was Margot Robbie in that? How did we get to Monsters Ball?
Because we were talking about search scenes and pausing, and he went to the one that he paused on, which was Monsters Ball, which is why we have Skinman on the show to say awesome shit like that. And it might only be 3 of them a show, but they're worth it.
Yeah, just to derail all your stuff, who is your pass? What actress is your pass that you could have sex with?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's Britney Spears.
Oh, it has been, hasn't it?
She was in Crossroads. She's an actor and a singer. She's, I'll be honest, it would probably, if it was right now, it would probably be Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn or, God dang it, my Parks and Recs girl. Why can't I think of her name right now? TJ, if you're watching, obviously she's not that high up on there because we're talking about Margot Robbie. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her?
Aubrey.
Yeah, Aubrey Plaza.
Is it? I was right.
And it's only because
I was just throwing
at Parks and Rec, I like her. She's she's funny and hilarious. That's part of it. But if you ever watch Dirty Grandpa, there is something about her in there, and even the fact she's trying to bang an old dude the whole show. But it's just something about that. It's that weakness for loose women. I like women just a little on the trashy side, and that's what it comes down to. I told you to bring anything of a show. Did you bring anything?
Yeah, like I said, we talked a little bit. I've slipped it in a little bit. I didn't know if we were, but did Snoop Dogg microwaves his weed for 11 seconds, supposedly. We had to research it.
Yeah.
End of the day at work, coworker had brought this up, and I'm like,
yeah, why wouldn't you at the end of the day at work? That's a good work search topic.
Well, how long did he do it for?
Did you guys do it on a work computer?
No, we got phones.
Well, I know, but that would be better if you told me you guys went and found the boss's computer and searched
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I guess it's 11 seconds, and he says it helps decarb it.
I don't know what that means.
Well, like I said, for us, for humans to get the effects of it, it has to be decarb. Your edibles and stuff, they don't just grind weed.
Yeah, they cook them.
Yeah, they
well,
really low temperature.
People have tried that in history, and you just get mad.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to decarb it, is what it's called. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what that means. The only thing when you say decarb was I think of a fuel injected car, or pulling your finger off of something.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of words that industry has.
This is why English is so hard to learn for Hispanics and everybody is because we have 47 words for the same, or 47 words mean the same thing, and one word means 47 things.
You ever seen that Gallagher bit? Isn't it Gallagher with the guy that smashes the
guitars?
No, the watermelons.
Okay,
Gallagher, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bit where he's holding up, and it's about that, there, what is pour and bomb and tune.
Well, like dope, cool. I mean, like that's
just different meanings, but you would think, like say Tomb. How do you spell tomb? T-O-M-B.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
So you
and
so
then
boom would be B-O-M-B. No,
Yeah.
no, B-O-O-M.
That's what I do love that. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, and this is why we're stupid.
I mean, it's a great
We
fucking
talked
bit.
about this a couple months on the show. There's a
Yeah.
Saturday night skit where
Because he
they
was also talking about go and do. We're not talking about two words in the back of the English language that we don't use anymore.
Yeah.
We're talking about go and do.
Yeah. There was another.
which are both. Okay, I get you. I get where you're going.
Well, there was another thing I seen about comedians. It was a podcast because everybody's got a podcast nowadays. But
Well,
there
the
are
only
two
one you need to
comedians-
watch, the only three you need to watch are the Middle of the Road podcast, For Music Lovers Only, and the Art Assault podcast.
That's the only ones that count.
And if you want to freaking watch Joe Rogan just so you can keep freaking texting him, freaking Middle Road podcast, then do that too, yes.
But the AI brought Carlin back, and AI wrote these jokes, off of all of his stuff on what's going on today. These two comedians are sitting here watching it, and the AI is joking that it's coming for comedians. There's gonna be no need for comedians anymore because AI can do it better. And the shit that this thing was making was, I'm like, it sounds
was
like
Carlin's
exactly
stuff.
It's not. I mean, it's got the voice isn't necessarily correct, spot on, but what he's saying would have been what he would have said today, and it was like wow. And the comedians guys are just like, speechless. They can't even say anything. I'm gonna find it and I'll share.
I went and seen George Carlin. God, he came to Wichita probably 5 years before he died, 4 or 5 years before he died, and we went. And I've never been, I grew up on him on Taxi, on, just all of his stuff. I mean, even the first time I ever watched CNN was because I watched a late night show and he was going to be on CNN the next day. And so at 9 o'clock at night, I tuned in to watch him just crush political people.
Yeah.
And that dude was probably, he tried to sound like an uneducated person most of the time, but he was probably the most educated comedian
philosopher
with the way that he did stuff. And I mean, it didn't matter left, right, middle, gay, straight, black. It didn't matter. He just attacked every one of them. But the way he did it was just fucking, masterpiece, man. He was a master class in just derogatory humor or whatever you want to call it, man. And even things he loved, he attacked like nobody's business because he knew he was human and made fun of the fact that people fall in love with stupid shit all the time. Name the reason why 50% of marriages in America end in divorce, which is one of his jokes. People fall in love with stupid shit all the time. Prime example: 50% of marriages end in divorce.
Well, he tried to be funny in the first of his career. He tried to, and he just couldn't get the flack until he started, making fun of stuff and being, angry.
He was
he went back.
He was the Larry David of comedy.
Yeah.
He just pointed out everyday stupidities in people, the obvious shit and everyday existence that we all just kind of said, no, believe him, hear this, hear that. And he just said, fuck them all.
Yeah. I'd heard a story that he went back to his mom or a nun and his mom were talking. It's like, what? He cusses a lot. And, he's angry, and I don't
Well, they say intelligent people don't ever cuss. That's false. The most intelligent people cuss.
Yeah. But the mom was like, yeah, I can't remember what she said, but it was funny. I'll have to look that up.
Okay.
Bring it up and then not have.
That's okay. Well, I told you to bring some things. You brought part of things, and that's fine. That's what most of my co-hosts do.
But basically, his mom was like, she's doing it. You're doing it.
Skinman. We won't do them, but what were the 3 stories you didn't get to read tonight?
We'll start with your name of the headline. Legos are for kids, not cops.
That one made me laugh.
And that is the Lego head mugshots add to California's debate on policing and privacy.
Basically, the Lego people said you're not allowed to use Lego heads on your mugshots anymore. And I kind of get it, but some of the mugshots, like on the story, they didn't show them all. I only read like the first sentence, so I know what it's talking about, and that's all you need to read of most stories. Mm-hmm. But I did search the mugshots that were involved in it, and they're great. So search California Lego mug shots, not mud shots.
Mud shots.
There's also some good ones of those, and some of them will be the mud that you're thinking, and some will be the mud you don't want to ever think of.
Some of that is not mud.
What is story number 2 you didn't get to?
Finally, I can get some advice.
Damn it, I meant service.
Yeah, finally I can get some service.
Okay.
That's what it was.
If I put advice, I meant service.
The Olympics taster, Paris race celebrities celebrates the servers who nourish city's life and soul.
Basically, all of the waitresses and waiters of the town get together and they do a sprint, and then some of them do a long-distance race, and that would be the only place in today's America or UK in this case that you can go get good service because there's all there.
So they have Hooters there? That'd be interesting.
A Hooters? Yeah. I don't know. There's 4 Hooters left in the world, and I don't know if one of them's in UK. It's one of them's in Las Vegas. Oh, Paris.
They got better service places than that in Paris.
I was just thinking of them running.
Right.
I mean.
Well, no, but they're all dressed up in like traditional waiter, like especially because it's Paris and those places. They're all prim and proper.
Garçon.
Yeah, so they're all dressed up in like that kind of garb. You would think with the little things and stuff.
I'm sure they still got a little cleavage going.
Oh, for sure. And no matter what, even in a freaking nun's outfit, you can watch boobs bounce. Is all I'm saying. What was the number 3 story you didn't get to?
More stupid people.
That sums up pretty much everything.
Indian YouTuber Elvish Yadav.
Just say Indian YouTuber.
Arrested for allegedly supplying snake venom as party drug.
Like if you went to a party and like somebody's like, hey man, you want some of this rattlesnake venom or whatever? I don't know. Rattlesnakes, are they venomous? I think so. Yeah. You want some rat? You want some rat? You want some rattle? You want some of that rattle? I got some of that king. I got some of that cobra.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you want to dip some of that? You want to dip your cigarette in some cobra and smoke that up?
Well, I hear mushrooms are poison, and that's what people hallucinate off of.
Okay, so you're telling me you would try some python?
20 years ago, maybe.
You want a little thon? You guys want to go on some thon?
Python's not venomous.
You want to go on some? You want to cobra it up with me, dog?
Anaconda.
You want to wrap yourself around me? You want to anaconda me, man? I don't know. Listen.
Cobra.
Yeah, let's rattle this. I like rattler. You guys, let's go rattle. Hey guys, we're going out back to do a little bit of rattle. And I don't know if it's like a
duster.
I don't know if you spray it or you soak it. If it's like you remember like you hearing the stories about like people dipping stuff in embalming fluid.
Yeah, sure. I've only heard them stories. Yeah.
Okay, well I've never played that game.
You never got dipped, man.
No, I've never been dipped. I remember being in high school and people talking about having like laced weed.
Well, isn't that just PCP and that embalming fluid? I think that's
maybe. But I remember people about like, man, this weed's got some cocaine on it. I'm like, that seems stupid. Why I have a numb mouth? Why I've been from what I've heard. I've had numb mouth, and I'm gonna go up and down. So basically, I'm gonna sober out on this joint. No, I don't want none. Yeah. If I did that,
I did not get told
in high school. I did
not get told the first time that somebody did that to me.
Well, but I think you might actually got some stuff with like angel dust or with something because the fact that I watched people like sprinkle the other stuff on it and then try it, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's a waste.
Why?
Like smoking crack. It's a waste.
Stories I did not get to and nobody cares about. Video game addictions, including mine. Is it genetic? It turns out it could be. The boy finally got a job. Since we've done this show, there's been one mission I've had in life, and that's moving this boy to the next level, and it started out with getting this son of a gun a job.
Yeah.
He's 19, got him a job. He burnt down my car, so he got my other car. He's doing good.
Upgrade.
So on that, what was the first job you had? I think I know yours, IGA.
Dylan's.
Okay, that's
Dylan's,
right.
Yeah.
What was your first job?
Cleaning out a pig stall out at a farmer's house.
First job, so I did even put this in parentheses. First job you paid taxes at.
Oh. That was...
first real job, sorry.
This Cinemas West. I was working at the theater.
What'd you do there?
Tour tickets and sold concessions.
Okay. my first job was McDonald's. Actually, my first job was working for my dad, and I did that from like 12 until 16 to where I could actually get a regular job, and I fucking got out of there, you know, and many jobs. And then that also led me to worst job. And my worst job was, man, I don't know if I've ever... Because even like McDonald's, I met Milligan there.
Yeah.
I had, there was horrible stuff that happened, but we had a great time.
Smiley.
Yeah. Same thing with, I worked at the Silver Dollar Cafe there in Derby.
Yeah.
Horrible job, but I met awesome people. And I met, I'd never heard of ICP until I started that job. And there was a dude that he was 32 and he had no license. And he lived over at, if you're in Wichita, you know what I'm talking about. But he lived basically like at 135 in Hydraulic, and I lived in Belle Plaine. Yeah. So every morning or before shift, they had us on shift. I'd go pick him up, and he would give me $10 every single day to drive him to work and home. But the only rule was
I had to listen to ICP.
I had to listen to ICP, man.
Well, I mean, if you could fill your tank up for $5 then.
I know, dude. That's what I'm telling you. I'd end up with $5. I could buy cigarettes, a case of beer, ounce of wheat. No. Not really. I could buy a pack of cigarettes, probably a drink, and maybe a candy bar and a full tank of gas, though. And that's crazy because now $60 gets you a quarter tank of gas, half of a fountain drink, and I was trying to bitch like everybody's bitching about the economy. None of my vehicle, maybe my big truck, it is about $60 to fill it up. Both of my cars, they're cheap, but I've been driving the big truck again because that's
the other one.
Well, that's the other topic is how about going driving a modern vehicle to drive it in a vehicle? And I even say my truck's a 99. It has some modern amenities, but it is so different. Like I got so comfortable not looking backwards when I backed up, and now I got to look backwards when I back up again. And I know neither of you guys have a backup cam, so you don't get it. But it was weird. No, I still looked back. But. Yeah. What else did we get to before I cut off? And everybody's already left anyway. I think that was.
I'm about to pee my pants.
You can go pee. People leaving all the time in this show. It don't matter. Listeners. The only thing before I go, which is the favorite thing I've done, and I probably should save it for next week, and we will. But it's my new series in life. I'm called Adventures in Guilt Trip Parking, and so people park in the middle of a stall.
Yeah.
And I'll just stand there and shake their head at them, or I'll make a comment like, I'll get out of the truck and I'll be like, luckily he can't park. And then I'll go into Quick Trip. And the guy's windows were down. Yeah. The dude, literally, he's waiting inside for his wife. Guess what he did? He backed up and re-parked while I went inside. I came outside. I don't know if I've seen my wife laugh that hard since she looked at my dick the first time. But dude, she was just rolling, and I'm like, and I looked over, and he was reparked, and his wife had just got it, and they were backing up, and she goes, "You guilt tripped him into re-parking." So then I've tried it 4 times since. I'm at a 75% success rate. And one of the people I don't know, I was feeling, feisty.
Yeah.
But I just drove home. From work, and I got off on 47th, and I parked. I was going to go get me some gas or a drink and a couple things to bring home, and a guy was parked back, and I literally, his window was down. I leaned in, and I said, I remember the first time I parked.
Yeah.
And then I walked in the fucking store, and if it was me, I would have fought me. What did this guy do? He literally backed up into the stall behind him and parked just freaking perfectly.
Right.
And then I pulled it in Quick Trip the other day. We were talking about my adventures in guilt trip parking.
Yeah.
People that can't park, and it's time for somebody to teach them how. We used to, at where I worked, people would pull up and they had big trucks. And if you can't drive it, don't drive it. But they would park sideways in the stalls there at KGT. And I literally, one guy was just in a grumpy mood that day. He parked, and I walked out, and I said, hey, not trying to be rude, but other people might want to park. If you want, I could park your truck for you. And then I knew the guy a little bit, and he goes, yeah, I kind of thought you might say something when I pulled up like that. And I said, yeah, because I've said something to you before. And how are you going to pull up in my building and not park right, Because somebody else, or I really like to get people that park in handicap spots. I'll freaking, park farther away. And then one guy did it, and I didn't see it, but he actually ended up he didn't have the handicap thing, but he had the placard. Yeah. But as I got to his vehicle, I started crawling by and just dragging my legs.
Just keep a a wheelchair in the.
Yeah, I know. I've thought about it, or I'll limp by real bad, and I'll be like, "I'm glad you got the last spot." And then I looked over, I'm like, "God damn it, that guy's got a fucking thing in his rear view. This isn't no fun no more." But I've got some people with that where they're in there, and I'll walk up and I'll be like, "Hey, when you guys are done here, my mom's in a wheelchair over there, and it sucks to have to get it out and then push her all the way up. And if it'd be cool if you guys, oh yeah, we're just waiting for somebody in there." I'm like, "Oh, are they handicapped? You're getting ready to be? No, not really." I'm not violent. I like to guilt trip people. I think that's worked better for me. So
that is a lot of fun. And the reason I say that, I had volunteered for the Amber Waves beer tasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, is there an opening at Hatman Jack's? Because I love hats.
That is an awesome place to go, dude. That is a cool. And that dude,
one hat there that I don't want.
I want them all.
There might be a couple hats I don't want, but I would, if that guy, I would have that guy. Yes, he needs to make.
You got to think about Halloween, though.
I know. There's a few that just don't fit this dome, and that's fine.
Well, that Halloween you can go as Baby Huey.
I'm just saying that needs to be at least an 8 or bigger to fit my head. It's literally so fucking big.
Yeah.
So
you got a pumpkin. But I had guilted a guy into buying a golf hat, like the one that's flat on top.
Yeah.
Or a driver's hat.
Yeah.
I got you.
I was
a short. I call him a short Abe Lincoln, but I got you.
I was just giving him a bunch of shit like I do all my friends, and I was just talking to him like a friend. And then it's like, well, yeah, you don't have to have a golf hat, but you're wearing one that says Tideless, so technically you're already wearing a golfing hat. And then he's like,
I've never even golfed, and I finally I'm glad somebody called me out on it. I just wore it because I thought it said titties. I thought it said tittyless, and I thought that was a funny little thing. And I liked Al Bundy, and I liked No Ma'am, and I just thought maybe this had something to do with it.
But I was just pouring beer and giving people samples of beer, and then giving him a bunch of shit. And he walks back up, he's like, "Dude, you talked me into it. I bought me a golf hat." And it's like, that hat looks good.
Okay, I like it, man. I like it. So you're a hat shamer. I'm a parking shamer. Do you have anything you shame anybody on?
Oh, I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff. Easter, this guy was riding an electric skateboard, right?
Okay.
Big wheels.
Yeah.
Cool enough, cool guy.
Yeah.
I go by him. I'm pulling into Wendy's. He's go by. He's holding like a 3 to 6 month year old baby.
Okay.
Like this, cradle like football, cruising on this thing.
You said luckily they're not breakable until they're 6 months.
Yeah. They're returnable. You haven't
They're
reached
still under warranty.
Yeah.
I think within the first 6 months they're almost like jelly. So pretty much drop them, get them used to it at that age.
Break them in, break them in. Say break them in. But
I was dropped.
I go in
Listen, up to 6 months I was dropped on my head at least 100 times, and I'm completely fine.
Perfectly fine. So I went in to eat, got done, and then here he's coming back, and this is Seneca and 27th.
So you tripped him. Tell me you throw something in front of that thing.
if he wouldn't have had the baby, it looked like a real
That's
baby.
how you teach him a fucking lesson.
That ain't the kid's fault.
That's how you teach him a lesson. Something could happen at any time, and you should be that something at any time.
Well, I was trying to rationalize what would drive you. Especially you're on this. You could walk. Okay?
What would drive you to carry a baby on there? The powered scooter he was on, bud. That's what would drive him.
Yeah. But what's going on in his brain? And I'm like, well, sure, maybe it was a baby, a doll. I'm like, well, why would he be doing that?
Well, with the area you just named, a lot of meth is prevalent.
Yeah. Well, he was a little. I wouldn't have struck him as the meth head. He had a backpack. Maybe he had to make. To make the sale. Maybe he was a dealer. He had to go get that deal so he could put the.
You were a young, struggling father at one point in your life too, and it was either leave it at home by itself. Or take it on your run.
Go party.
And you took it on your run. Yeah, That's what good dads do. They don't
leave
to the bar. They don't leave their kid at home alone.
Driver.
Yeah, you don't leave them at home alone. You take them to your hooker runs and your drug runs and your, you don't leave your kids at home alone. You take them out and party with you like a good parent. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. It was a weird show. Thank you. I'll cut out the TJ part so you guys can enjoy it. Other than that, no, I enjoyed it. It was a good time. Josh, thanks for coming over. Give us a plug, man. What do you got?
We got Saturday for music lovers only.
What time we do that?
6 o'clock. I think we're going to do places.
Okay, that's what's coming up.
We pick our favorite songs out of whatever the fuck we decide to do, and then Art Assault.
What do you got going on? I screwed you on this. I tried getting you
we still don't have a guest as of
He
now.
wants to do it still.
I'll get him for the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get him for the next one, but we don't have one for this week, so I don't know.
Skinman paints with poop sometimes, so sometimes he also, when he mows, he only mows half of his yard because he's drunk, and it leaves cool things in his yard. People think, like, the original crop circles in Kansas was somebody that hired him to freaking do their field, and he got drunk
halfway through the
and
job.
freaking just did these.
I call it poop, but it's actually burnt sienna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guano art, you know.
Guano art. Fecal art.
Yeah, you
Fecal
know.
art.
Okay. And this is the middle of the road. We do it. Sometimes me and Skinman, about the same show, same two people. We do one called Monday Morning Papers. I also am starting one where I'm going to do some interviews called Coach's Corner, but I'll probably still have everybody else on. I want like more shows. Eventually one of these will stick and people will download it. So
Nobody puts Coach in the corner.
oh, dang it, I can't push the same button twice. Here, let's do this one.
And I'll finish with this. Throughout my life, I've done alcohol and I've done marijuana. I'm a product of the 60s. And I can assure you, I've misbehaved far more on alcohol than I ever have on marijuana.
So just chill out. You know, drink a 7-Up, eat a moon pie, quit murdering people.
Peace, y'all.